Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for being PC with D, and welcome to another edition of Should Christians Play? The series where we go between the lines and ratings of the ESRB to answer the questions, should a Christian play? And is this game accessible for me? Hi guys, my name is Derek. I'm a legally blind gamer and preacher, and today we're going to review Killer Instinct Classic, or in other words, Killer Instinct Arcade 94. It's available for your Xbox One and Xbox Series S and X. Yes, this is a game that we're going to review on two fronts, as we always do, guys. Is the game physically accessible for the blind, deaf and hard of hearing, and motor disabled? And is the game morally accessible for a Christian to play? So let's start things out like we always do, guys, on the physical accessibility side of things. And let's start out with the blind and low vision, because that's the spectrum I come at things from. So first of all, guys, Killer Instinct Classic, or Killer Instinct 94, this version that was available on your Killer Instinct Definitive Edition if you bought the disc, or is also available to buy on the marketplace. It has several features that really help someone that's physically disabled. We're going to kind of show you guys a few. First, for the blind and low vision, go down to your options here. You're going to see that there's several things. First of all the menus are written in huge text, and they have kind of a dark background with light writing, which really helps. The contrast is amazing for someone that's low vision. Someone that's blind, there is no menu narration, however, but every menu has limited options, usually half a dozen or less. And once you go to the bottom and you keep hitting down, you can't go any further, and you can go back up. So memorization on the menus is very easy if you are completely blind as well, guys. So that's very helpful. There's a lot in this game. If you've never played Killer Instinct, which I am going to show you gameplay here later, Killer Instinct has a lot of audio cues that let you know kind of where your opponent is as far as the footsteps, their jumping, the moves they throw. They all have a certain audio cue that lets you know. And of course, holding back in this button always makes your character block. You can punch up certain things in the audio section of this, punch things up or down to help you be able to identify if you want to turn the music down so you can hear the characters better. That's possible for someone that's blind as well. And of course, when you're in danger, it yells out the big danger and lets you know that your health bar is getting near critical. Also, this is kind of a unique situation in that it is a typical fighting game, but again, if you've never played Killer Instinct, there is no round system, really. Everything is held in one round. Your character kind of falls, gets back up, they say ready, and you go right back at it. There's no victory pose and then round two, like a typical fighting game. So that's kind of interesting, but you will know when your character falls, again, if you're completely blind, because you'll hear ready, and that means you're on to your second life bar in that fight. So there's a lot of things that help the low vision and the blind. Like I said, everything's big, everything's easy to read on dark backgrounds with light writing, great contrast. From that perspective, from a game from 1994 that's been kind of put into this thing, they've done a lot of things to add to it to help somebody that's low vision and blind. Now, as far as the deaf and hard of hearing goes, there unfortunately is no subtitles in this game, but there is not many voiceovers to read. There's not much voice work in Killer Instinct 94 that would necessitate subtitles. So that is one thing, but unfortunately it is not there. But when you win the arcade battles and things like that, all their endings are written out. The dialogue is typed out so you can read their story and things like that, so you're not worried about missing out on voice work and things like that. So that is kind of a plus and a minus at the same time, but unfortunately there is no subtitle work for the limited voiceover work that is in the game for someone that's deaf and hard of hearing. For someone that's motor disabled, however, there is absolute complete button remapping for this game. You can button remap every single button on your controller to your heart's content. So I can't give high enough marks for this. This is an awesome feature on Killer Instinct Classic here, KI94, for your Xbox. Pretty awesome. No complaints for the motor disabled. So overall, guys, for the blind and low vision, I would have to give the game a C. There unfortunately is no menu narration, but there is nice text, and you know, there's some things that could have been done a little better. I would say C to C plus for the low vision and the blind. For the deaf and hard of hearing, unfortunately, the game's going to have to get an F because there is no subtitles or anything. Even though there is limited voice work that needed subtitles, there is no subtitles on the game. So unfortunately, it has to get an F for me. But for the motor disabled, I have to give the game an A. A plus. You can completely button remap this old game until your heart is content, until you have the system that you want most. So that is really awesome. Okay, so that's my physical accessibility point of view. Now, what about the moral accessibility? Is this game morally accessible for a Christian? Well, once again, guys, we're going to find quite a few surprises. This old dog has some new tricks. If you go into the gameplay settings, you're going to find and see that you can have finishing moves turned off, which completely disables all their like fatality type moves or finishing moves. Once you turn this on, they cannot perform them, and nor can you perform them. So you can completely strip out the fatality aspect or finishing move aspect of the game. Most of you will say, well, what about the blood and things like that? Also can be completely removed. As you see, blood level can be turned all the way down to none. You can even change the blood color if you would want to. You could change it to like a gray and make it look like a sweat or something. I don't know. But you can turn it completely off. You could have the parental advisory turned on. You know, there's a lot of awesome features that you can do with this game. So in the end, when you turn finishing moves off, when you turn the blood off, that takes all, of course, the gore and the blood out of the game. It takes the ability to finish off or do a fatality type move in the game. But it also does not disable an ultra combo, which is one of the coolest finishing moves on Killer Instinct, which is a non-fatality move where you just do a long combo to kind of finish off your opponent in a stylized, cool way. That does not disable that. So if you're wondering about that, well, yeah, but if I turn the finishing moves off, you know, it's going to turn off my ultra combos and I won't be able to do the cool moves. And nope, you still got that, guys. It does not turn that off. So I have the blood off. I've got the parental advisory turned on, and I have the finishing moves turned off. And with all of that, we have a very, very Christian-friendly Killer Instinct, guys. And I can't give this game high. So, you know, there's, as far as the nudity goes, aspect of the game, you know, sexual content aspect of the game, there's only one female character, Orchid, and she is completely clothed, guys. She has a shirt that covers her top part, and she has shorts on. She is wearing very, very decent attire for this day and age on a Killer Instinct game, from a game from that time. There's a lot of times girls were wearing, you know, kind of risque costumes and things that would go on throughout the 2000s, but Orchid, one of those rare exceptions where She's the only female on the game, and she's well attired. So, no sexual content to speak of. The blood's gone, the gore's gone. No language, no blasphemy, no taking the Lord's name in vain in this game. So you don't have to worry about that. The finishing moves and fatalities can be turned off. So you don't have to worry about anything like that morally. Again, unbelievably, guys, I have to give the game an A. Never thought I'd be saying that, and most folks probably beginning this review never thought that Killer Instinct would get an A for Christian moral accessibility, but basically the only thing is if you don't like a fighting game, if you don't like the aspect of fighting, which is inherently violent, fighting, but it's so cartoony, it's hard to take seriously. I mean, we have wolf guys and dinosaurs and cat alien guys and robots and men made out of plasma and fighting each other. It's very hard. A skeleton. It's very hard to take seriously. And, you have these really long, extended, crazy combos. So, again, very cartoonish in its approach. Very hard to take seriously. But if you have some trouble with, the violence and things like that, then that is something that's there. But overall, I'm going to give the game an A. I see no problem with Killer Instinct Classic from a Christian aspect. So let's see this stuff in practice, guys. Go with my main here, Mr. Saberwolf. And let's see what this game looks like and sounds like in practice. And you guys can decide whether you want to play this or not. Oh. Oh no. Bark at the moon. Oh no. Oh, got him, guys. Supreme victory. Oh, try another match here. So, as you can see, everything's kind of punched up, the sound effects and stuff. It's pretty easy to hear things. Pretty easy to know where your killer or your character's at. Awesome combo. I like this music. There we go, guys, into the ultra combo. Oh. That was pretty cool. I just wanted to kind of show you guys what the game looked like in practice. It's a pretty awesome game, guys. I like this game. I grew up with it, so. But you have complete everything that you need, guys. Unfortunately, the only thing that's missing really is the deaf and hard of hearing. I wish there would have been subtitles on the game. But overall, guys, for physical accessibility, I give Killer Instinct Classic a C to C+. For the blind and low vision, we have the large menus. We got the nice contrast going on. We don't have the menu narration, but you have a lot of audio cues to let you know where things are and what's going on, so it is playable. Unfortunately, as I said, for the deaf and hard of hearing, no subtitles, and for the motor disabled, we have complete and absolute button remapping, which is totally awesome. C to C+, guys, for physical accessibility. For the moral accessibility, once again, very approachable. You can turn the blood off in the game. You can turn the fatality type finishing moves off in the game, but it does not take away the ability to do your ultra combos, which are stylish and awesome. Yeah, no complaints as far as the sexual content from the one and only female character Orchid on the game, so that's not an issue. There's no blasphemy or taking the Lord's name in vain. Overall, guys, otherwise with the violence is the only inherent thing. So if you don't have a trouble with fighting or violence in a game, then I would give this game an A overall for Christian moral accessibility, guys. I hope that's helped you on this review of Killer Instinct Classic and another edition of Should Christians Play, the series where we go between the ratings of the ESRB to answer the question, should a Christian play? And is this game accessible for me? Till the next one, guys, I love you, God loves you, and blessed wishes.